All right, let's hope this is recording. Okay, so hi everyone. My name is Sebastian. Um, Unfortunately, I couldn't make it to this week's Google Mentor meeting due to work-related time conflicts. However, I'm still very, very eager to actually show what we've worked on this past week. So last week we focused on continuous integration, which is the practice of merging code changes into a repo after tests are ran. So we've used GitHub Actions to check if workflows passed or failed. If our tasks were successful and they passed, then we could merge changes into our repo. So that was last week. But for this week, our topic encompassed monitoring and network activity. So site reliability engineers are expected, well, actually, site reliability engineers and DevOps engineers are expected to develop faster production ready code more frequently while testing various features on a regular basis. So for our first assignment, we were tasked with to identify inefficiencies and problems with given Python files. So this was a practice run of not so much of the monitoring programs that we were going to use later on, but more of command line interface tools. So as you can see, we're going to use the top or the table processes command to view processes that take up the most CPU and available memory. Um, so think of like just like general monitoring of process activities. We also use VMstat and IOstat, albeit to a lesser degree, but they're both still important to look at processes, memory usages, etc. So we were given two Python files, and we wanted to use these commands to check what's going behind the scenes, like what's going on, like what's going on with the memory, CPU usage, a lot of stuff. So, and we were going to use these commands to check what's up. So I'll load them up and we can just check what's going on. I'm already in I already SSH into my VPS, so we can just go here. And I just want to run this first test called test1.python. So I just want to see what is going on. Let's hope that this does not crash my recording. But as you can see, there is it's just like a long print statement of a lot of various numbers. Um, so this Python file is supposed to destroy itself. That's kind of like the main purpose of this Python file. And we're actually tasked to use these different commands to see what is going on. Um, so I actually don't want to like wait here until it destroys itself because there's no set time to of like when it's supposed to stop. It's kind of random. But from my experience, it takes about like 10 to 15 seconds for it to destroy itself. But um, we're actually just gonna stop it right there. So as you can see, there's like a keyboard interrupt, but that's from my end. However, instead of keyboard interrupt, it would say killed. Um, so one important observation that we actually were supposed to see is that the Python is destroying itself. So let's actually just use the top command to see what is going on. Um, well, I just want to see these different usage rates compared to the CPU and memory. So let me just do that real quick. Let me go here and let us run this again. Nope, not that. All right. So we're just going to let this run. So as you can see to the right of the terminal, Python 3 is the most, it's the process that's using the most CPU and memory usage. So let me just turn on memory. If I can just turn that, oh, I'm in the wrong one. let me set the usage to 0.3 and 0.5 so we can get a better interval to see what's going on. This is destroying my computer. Um, but as you can see, there is a lot of memory being used. So let me just turn the memory usage on. And yeah, like you can see that there's like a 31% of like available memory being used, which is kind of a lot. Um, so actually, to the left of the terminal, there actually is a memory error. So that's what is supposed to be going on. Um, so why does this program exactly stop? So I believe that the program stops because while the program is running, we probably cross a memory usage limit that the system allocates to us. So the out of memory killer stops processes that will return a large amount of memory back. So this is why our program stops. So that's I believe what is happening behind the scenes. So let us go back to test two and see what happens. And this is just a script, so I can just do this. So one important observation that we can make is yes, to the right of the screen, test two is taking up a lot of like the CPU percentage. It's pretty much the only process that is taking a lot of it, other than TMUX. Um, and but as you can see, that memory usage is not high because compared to test one, where we're at like a 28% of our available memory being used. However, we're only at like a 0.4% right now. So I actually just want to run this. I actually want to use a VM stat and see what's going on. So as you can see, I'm just going to continuously run this. That fourth, well, it says free, like that number is going down. However, at a much slower rate compared to test one. I'm actually going to stop this program before it kills my computer. So, and as you can see from the top command, that uh, that command is not being, it's not using the memory that most, I can't even say words. It's not even using that process. It's not being, uh, I can't even make words. Basically, that process is not using that most memory, the most memory. So that out of memory killer is not being activated to to stop that process. So it's not just so test two is not destroying itself as fast as test one, but both files are similar in the sense that they print out numbers. Um, and in fact, free memory values in the second in VMstat are decreasing at a much lower rate than test one. And I believe that this is the main takeaway of these two tests. Memory was being used at a much slower rate. So maybe the out of memory killer saw my program wasn't the process that is using a lot of memory at times. So test two continued to run because the file wasn't using as much free memory compared to test one. So this was our first assignment. We're just getting accustomed to CLI commands. So here. So I'll just get out of this and let me clear that. So that was our first assignment. So for our next assignment, we're actually going to use Prometheus. Let me just pull it up right now. Where is it right here? Yeah. So it's Prometheus is a modern and alerting toolkit. We actually use this in conjunction with Grafana to visualize data metrics for our project. So thanks to Docker and GitHub, we actually we cloned a project that essentially gave us a modern stack consistent of different monitoring and alerting tools. So I don't actually need to run, like I can just pull this up right now if I can find it. Here it is. So this GitHub open source project like comes pre-installed with a bunch of different programs, which I can show you right here. I'm actually just going to do this. So as you can see, I don't need to run another Docker Compose up because all of these different images are set up on my end. So we can actually just check these applications by going to our VPS URL and concatenating the port. So we can just, all of these are different images that were pre-installed with the GitHub repo. So I the main substance of this project was our assignment was using Grafana in conjunction with Prometheus. So I'm actually just gonna go to my uh, Grafana dashboard with the port 3000. So let me just pull up my dashboard, which is the dashboard is essentially monitoring my portfolio. Wow. Okay. So a lot is going on here. Don't mind that one alert. But look at all this information. We're given memory usage. We're given CPU usage. All of it is information that'll help us understand what's going on with our system. So these graphs and numbers reflect our portfolio usage. It's a static website with static variables, so we're not going to get anything too extreme compared to like these spikes. So um yeah, I mean, pretty much in a nutshell, that's kind of like the main substance that we've done this week. Of course, we had a lot of readings in between, but those readings did fill in the gaps when I was going through these assignments. Why are we doing this? Why are we doing that? And so these readings that we were given really did help us kind of understand why we are doing this. So um, I've learned a lot about modern practices, and even then, I'm still wanting to learn more about ensuring applications that we plan on creating are up and running with no foreseeable problems. So yeah, that's it for my presentation. I know there's another fellow that like needs to present, so I'll end it here. I don't know if the mentors have any questions, but if you do, then if you'd like to reach out to me, then please, um, if you send me any questions if you'd like to. So thank you very much. And thank you for listening. Just end it here.